Ah yes, Banjo-Kazooie, a childhood classic on the Nintendo 64. Who doesn't love it? Well, I certainly love Banjo-Kazooie, but there's one problem. There's water. As a professional showerless individual, I despise clean water, so we're not going to delve into it. Before we start avoiding showers, we have to talk about the rules. The rules are simple. We can't fully submerge into clean water, as that would be close to, if not a shower, scary. With that out of the way, let's start with our first area of the game, Spiral Mountain. Spiral Mountain is a very good starter area for us, as we can collect 5 of the 6 extra honeycomb pieces here. The 6th is sadly submerged under the mountain, meaning we can't access it without showering. Getting this extra honeycomb piece is very scary, as we narrowly avoid the waterfall to grab it. Make sure not to fall. As Spiral Mountain comes to a close, we can talk about our first level, Mumbo's Mountain. Upon entering Gruntilda's lair, we find our first Jiggy. We use this Jiggy to open Mumbo's Mountain, the first level. Mumbo's Mountain is one of the easiest levels to complete while avoiding a clean shower, as there's only one spot on the map with water. Sadly, there are 6 notes submerged in the water, bringing our note count down to 94 out of 100 notes that we can collect. Thankfully, every other note and Jiggy can be acquired, making this level near complete. We can also collect both extra honeycomb pieces, as they too avoid clean showers like the plague. To finish, Mumbo's Mountain can almost be completed in its entirety. The few notes we lack do not hinder our progress in any way. We currently have collected 11 Jiggies, 94 notes, and 7 honeycomb pieces. As we enter Treasure Trove Cove, we come across a big issue. The floor is wet with clean water. Thankfully, it's nothing more than a puddle. Otherwise, the challenge would end right then and there. As long as we don't stick in the water too long, we'll be safe from its mind-controlling effects. Despite being the level with the most clean, showerable water in the game, we only miss out on 2 Jiggies, a couple notes, and an extra honeycomb piece. We cannot retrieve Captain Blubber's gold nor the notes in his ship, and we cannot get the extra honeycomb piece underwater not too far from Nipper. We cannot save all the Jinjos due to one of them being a showering fanatic, hiding under the dock at the start of the level. Thankfully, we still get many of the collectibles in the level, 85 notes, 7 Jiggies, and 1 extra honeycomb piece. Do note that from this point forward, the note count may be inaccurate to how many you can actually collect without taking a shower. I apologize in advance. Clanker's Cavern at first glance seems like the end of our run. However, upon further inspection, what we are seeing in this level isn't water. Instead, this is Gruntilda's shit juice and sweat, something unclean that you really shouldn't shower in. With that in mind, Clanker's Cavern is the only level in the entire game that we can access and fully complete, with all notes, Jiggies, and extra honeycomb pieces in our possession. This is Clanker the Shark, and no, I'm not being the Uncle Ruckus of mechanisms. That is his actual name. He's stuck in Gruntilda's shit water and he needs to be freed. As we dive into Grunty's shit water, we get even smellier, but we don't bother. At the bottom lies an anvil. It's rusted and smells like a landfill. As the loop the key times 3, Clanker is lifted and set free. Wow! Look at him go! I wonder how he will breathe, though. Sharks can't breathe on air, right? Besides this small side quest, all of the Jiggies, notes, and extra honeycombs are collected without trouble. There is no clean water to shower in. Hooray! Following Clanker's Cavern, we come across a slight issue. We can't actually access Bubblegloop Swamp. We must tread through clean water to access the Jiggy puzzle needed to unlock the level. Thankfully, we have an alternate path to go towards. In the Bubblegloop Swamp hub area, you can boost your way to Freezeezy Peak's Jiggy puzzle and unlock Freezeezy Peak. We now have a new way forward, but will the lack of Bubblegloop Swamp hold us back from finishing the game? I'm feeling festive. Now that we're in Freezeezy Peak, I can tell you plainly that this is when our luck begins to run out. Despite there not being too much water, said water being ice cold, it is clean, showerable water. This locks us out from several notes and an extra honeycomb piece. Despite that, we can still nab all 10 Jiggies with some abuse of game knowledge, skipping the discussion of all but 2 Jiggies, as they're all easy grabs. The 2 Jiggies that involve the walrus are quite difficult. Thankfully, I used 5% of my brain power and thought of a nasty scheme. Suicide. And would you look at that? It worked. I'm so intelligent. After that, we go visit Diddy the Dolphin and he gives us baby oil incentives. However, we decline his offer but keep the incentive he gave us. After that, we race with Bob the deadbeat dad and win, giving us another Jiggy. Do note, I do the second race later, but it isn't mentioned. To send off Freezeezy Peak, we can't get that damn 4th Chaos Emerald. In other news, we're missing out on a few notes and an extra honeycomb piece. Note that the final note count may be inaccurate. Starting off, Gobi's Valley seems very promising. After all, you can't take a shower in a dry-ass desert. However, there is one Jiggy we can't get because, as it turns out, there is fucking water. I died a bit too much in this map, so I couldn't get you a good note count. But thankfully, I looked into it and got an exact number of how many notes you can get while being showerless. In the one room submerged with water, there is 1 Jiggy and 4 notes. This cuts us off from exclusively those collectibles, as collectibles that the water is meant to make easy for us to collect can be collected anyways. Without Bubblegloop Swamp, wading the hot sand is extremely difficult. As it stands, we currently have 465 notes. This is enough to access the next part of the lair. However, this is where our story closes. The next part of the lair is filled with clean water, and we must swim through it to access the next level, Mad Monster Mansion. There is no further way to progress, as Mad Monster Mansion is a required level for lair progression. Despite there being ways to access these levels with complex speedrun tech, we still cannot access the next level afterwards, Rusty Bucket Bay, since we raised the water level, flooding the entire hub area with clean, showerable water. Despite this being the end of Banjo-Kazooie, there are many more games with water for us to avoid. Tune in next time to see the next game I try to conquer showerless and how I do it.